Hello viewers, I hope you all are good and you may be enjoying the contents of my videos. In today's video, I'm going to explain the concept of diminishing marginal returns that many businesses may experience during the short run. Now the first question is, what is meant by the term short run? Well, the short run in economics is defined as a period of time in which at least one factor of production is fixed. Thus, it is not a time period which can be measured in days or months. This fixed factor definition means that the level of production in the short run can be increased only by adding more variable factors of production to the fixed factor. We need to keep in mind that when a firm increases output in the short run, it adds variable inputs such as labor to a fixed factor such as land. The result is that initially total output rises rapidly and the average cost of production falls. This is because of greater specialization in the use of variable factors and the elimination of underutilization in their use. The result is rising productivity and hence reduced average costs. We investigate this phenomena through this table. As we can see, this table provides information about a certain production activity and the different types of costs. For example, when the output is 1 unit, the fixed cost is $30 and the variable cost is $10. If we add up these two costs, we get the total cost of producing 1 unit as $40. The average cost is calculated by dividing the total cost with the output, while the marginal cost is the additional cost of producing one more unit. The legend attached to this table is self-explanatory. However, for those of you who are not familiar with the concept of average and marginal cost, I may explain it further. For example, if you look at the cost of unit 4, you will notice that the fixed cost remains the same, that is $30. Logically, it should stay the same because it is a fixed cost per unit that does not change with the activity level. I explain it with a simple example. Suppose in a car manufacturing facility, the monthly rent of the facility is say $1,000 and only 4 cars can be produced in a month. In this case, monthly rent is a fixed cost because it does not change with the production level, and whether one car is manufactured or 4 cars, the rent will remain the same. However, the variable cost of manufacturing a car, such as parts, labor costs, lubricants, etc., will increase when more cars are produced because you will need more of these resources. Okay, coming back to the table, we notice that up to unit 4, the average cost is gradually declining from $40 to $25 because although variable cost is increasing from $10 to $70 as the output rise, the fixed cost remains constant at $30. Resultantly, the marginal cost of producing an additional unit is also declining from $40 to $10. However, there are limits to the process of specialization, and eventually extra units of variable factors produce diminishing additions to output. To raise output by a given amount thus requires much greater additional inputs of variable factors and thus average costs rise. For example, if land is the fixed factor and more labor is applied to it, eventually efficiency will be limited as workers get in one another's way. Similarly, referring to the earlier example of a car manufacturing plant, if there are a limited number of assembly platforms, the fixed factor, then by recruiting more workers, the variable factor, production cannot increase because there will be long wait time on each platform and more wear and tear of the platform due to excessive use. Therefore, diminishing returns are the natural outcome during the short run, and both average cost and marginal cost start rising after a point. This may be demonstrated in Table 2. As the diminishing returns start to apply, both average cost and the marginal cost start increasing as the production units increase. For example, from unit 5 onwards, the effect of diminishing returns starts operating and it continues up to unit 7. Furthermore, if extra pay is given to attract the extra labor needed to increase output, the marginal cost rises steeply. This happens because the extra pay over the previous wage is given to all of the workers, not just the additional new recruit. The story doesn't stop here. With diminishing returns in the short run, the increase in the average cost is also accompanied by a negative marginal output, as it is demonstrated in Table 3. As you can see that as more and more workers are employed, the average and marginal outputs reach the climax at 27 and 33 units respectively. From this point onward, diminishing returns start operating and both the average output and marginal output start falling. With the employment of the seventh worker, the marginal output becomes negative. This happens due to the fact that the additional worker has become a constraint within the existing fixed factor environment and it has started creating hurdles for other workers, reducing overall output. As I explained earlier, with reference to a limited number of car assembly platforms and employment of more workers that create hurdles for other workers. With these simple examples, I have demonstrated that production in the short run is characterized by diminishing returns and rising average costs eventually. If you have enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to my channel and also share and like this video. Thank you for watching.